Hey everyone, my name is Mark Stevenson from ColDesi, and what we're doing today is giving you kind of a real-world example. This video is somewhere in between a tech talk and a product demonstration. So if you are familiar with our tech talks, welcome back. If you haven't seen the Avance before, then you're in for a treat. What we're going to do is something a little bit different. Sean, one of our best technicians for the Avance and an Embroidery Pro, is going to take this jacket and actually sew a Florida Beach High School logo onto it. And what we're using is a Port Authority jacket from Sanmar as our example. In addition to showing you how to embroider it and a little bit about that, we're also going to talk about the cost, and that's what I'm going to do first. I mean, this is a great large jacket from Sanmar, and it is they are the blanked provider that we recommend. It's a Port Authority charger jacket, and I'll show you on screen right now. So what you should be seeing here is the Sanmar screen. Now this is the back end. We're actually Sanmar, we have a Sanmar account that we use for demonstrations. These are the prices that you'll also see. And you can see this is the J328 True Navy jacket. You can actually view the spec sheet, but I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's 100% polyester Taslan shell. It's got polyester fleece body lining, heavyweight sleeve lining, it's got dyed-to-match lining and zippers, interior pockets, and it's available in a variety of colors and sizes that you can see here. And you can see the prices between $18 and $19 depending on the size. This is a large, so that is going to be $17.99. Now, we also looked online a little bit and found a website that sells it, which is called Stitch America, and this is just somebody that we found online. We don't have any affiliation with this company at all. Just looking for this Port Authority lightweight jacket, and these folks will include embroidery up to 12,500 stitches. And what you're going to see is the Florida Beach High logo is just over 10,000 stitches, so it's well within that range. And if you buy 12 of these from this company online, they will charge you $34.75. So as you can see, at $18 to $34.75, you've got almost 100% markup. And this was a high-ranked search online. So this is a realistic kind of case study in how much you can make doing commercial embroidery.
Correct.
Okay, so that is Sanmar. That is the cost and the retail that we're working with. And now we're going to see how to do it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my inner ring hoop just on the inside of the jacket where I think that it is going to go.
And this is your decades of experience that's
just
telling you where it's supposed to go.
So what I'm going to do is I folded down the collar as if someone's actually wearing it. You don't want to have the collar all the way up and then actually have it too high so that when they fold the collar down, it covers up the logo.
That's a really good point.
So what I want to do is right where the seam meets the collar, I want to come over roughly about an inch. And then depending on the size of the jacket, you're going to come down anywhere from 6.5, usually for women, to 8.5 for like a double XL.
Right. Now this is a men's large.
This is a men's large. So you're roughly going to go about 7.5 inches down.
Okay.
That will be the center of the design.
Yep.
So coming down, I've already measured where it should be. I am going to place my hoop in that location. You see when the collar's down, my outer ring is sitting right where the edge of the collar is, so it will not cover my design.
Okay.
Once I have that in place, I grab my backing. I will then slip it underneath the jacket, place it over my inner hoop. I'll then grab my hoop, and to make sure that when you do hoop it, that it is nice and straight, since we have a zipper here, and majority of the time when someone looks at a garment with a logo on it, as Mark's shirt or my shirt with the ColDesi, they're going to try lining it up with the center seam. As yours buttons all the way down,
right,
what happens is if it's crooked, it's really going to be noticeable on this seam.
Yes.
So when I hoop the garment, I am lining up the inside line here of the hoop with the straight line of the zipper.
That's good.
So what I'll do is I'll push it in nice and snug. I'll then want to lift it up and look at it, and then I'll also compare it to make sure that it is straight. If it is off, I'll readjust it, rehoop it, and keep doing it until I've got it straight.
So how's that one looking?
This one looks pretty good.
Okay.
So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and push it even flush. Now is when I will unzip it so that we can open it up as in a butterfly. Lay it more flush on the table. Because what you want to do now is you want to make sure the hoop is nice and snug on the garment. Before we were actually pushing on the back side of the jacket, which is a thick material. So
Right.
You weren't really getting a good firm push. You want to put it on a table and then pull your garment top to bottom to get all the wrinkles out. And then you want to push the inside ring down a little bit to give it more of a good fit. All right, as you see, we got our table on. We got our frame loaded already.
Yep, and I just want to remind everybody that the table does come with the Avance. Hang on, let me get a good angle there so we can see what you're doing.
All right. I went ahead and slid the jacket underneath the arm. I'll then be able to place my hoop in the frame. Make sure you clear the needles. Simply push back and you hear it snap and lock into place. And then just make sure nothing's catching. And this is one reason why you want to use the table, especially for heavy garments. If we were to have this off and just have it hanging, these arms would actually be pushed and pulled down, which would cause a big effect on how you're sewing.
Yep.
So what this is going to do, this is going to go ahead and stabilize the rest of the jacket on top. I always go ahead and look underneath the hoop to make sure nothing got buckled underneath, make sure I can sew the back to the front, what have you. That's a really
the worst.
good idea. So once we got everything loaded, we're good. We're going to come up here and select our design. And we've got the...
Up here so we can take a look.
Yep, we got the Florida Beach.
Right, so you can see a little color representation of the logo.
We can also make it a little bigger in case you want to see it a little bit larger on screen.
I like that.
All right, we'll go ahead and hit enter to select it. All right, now here you see we've got roughly 10,738 stitches.
Okay.
We're going to go back into embroidery status, and now we're going to choose our colors. I'm going to arrow back to the first position. Our first color in the design is blue. So we look on our machine, and that's on needle number 5. Next color is silver, which is going to be needle 10. Next color is white, which is on 3. Next color is black, which is 6. Back to white, and back to the blue on 5. Press enter, lock our colors in. We've got a good start point where we want to do the design right in the middle of the hoop. I'll then come in here, set the start point.
Now, I heard somewhere that you should always trace the design.
Always trace, always trace. We'll go back to hoop, and now we're going to do our contour range check. As you see, we got plenty of room. Next thing I want to do is I want to check the bobbin and make sure we do have enough bobbin in the machine.
Good idea, because we've run out of those
Yes,
before.
and as you can see, we
got plenty.
We got plenty. Now, we place that back in there.
And I see you set the speed at about 860.
860.
Okay, and is there a reason for that?
That's just what was left on the machine from before.
Okay.
That's normally what we sell stuff at anywhere but 800, 900 stitches a minute.
Okay.
For the jacket back, we can go ahead and reduce that maybe down to 800. And then we can adjust it forward or backward to go from the machine. Just because it is a jacket and it is hanging off to the side.
Right.
And because of the bulkiness.
So, and now you can do the math and it will tell you how long this is going to take.
Correct. So you could take 10,738, divide it by 800, and you're going to get roughly just around 12 to 13 minutes.
Right.
All right, so if we're good, everything's good, nothing's catching, we'll just go ahead and press start. It will switch to the appropriate needle.
Now, at this time, if you were doing more than one, you would go over to your all-in-one hooper, and you would hoop up the next jacket while this is sewing out.
That is correct.
While the jacket is embroidering, I thought we'd take a closer look at the cost and the profitability of using the Avance and doing a job like this, using all the numbers that we've already discussed. Now, like we saw online from the Sanmar website, this specific Port Authority jacket will cost us $17.99. Remember, we're basing this on an order of 12 pieces. We've also added 50 cents to the cost for miscellaneous materials like thread and backing, and frankly, that's a pretty generous allowance. For a total cost, not including labor in any of this, of $18.49. So the total jacket cost being $18.49, we've got a 12-piece order. So if you multiply that out times 12, you're talking about $221.88 all in for cost of materials for the job. Now, we saw from the website that we visited that the retail for that jacket is $34.75. Now, just anecdotally, I walked around the office and I showed different people the jacket. The low price that we got as an estimate was $35, which is what we're talking about here, and the high was about $50, which some folks here thought that you could get that from a local business that was just going to order a dozen of these jackets. But using $34.75 from the website, the total sale on 12 pieces is going to be $417. So the total sale at $417 and the job cost at $221.88, you're talking about a gross profit from this particular order for the Port Authority jacket with the Florida Beach High logo on it at $195.12. So that's how much you're making on the job, is $195.12. And if we try to break it down to an hourly rate, because that's what a lot of people think about when they're thinking about going into a business, is how much am I going to make for an hour's worth of work. Now we figured that you could do about one of these jackets every 15 minutes, and that's, you're hooping up jacket number 2 as you're sewing out jacket number 1, and of course there's some allowances for thread breaks and things like that, but 15 minutes is a pretty good number and it's easy to work with. You can do 4 pieces an hour at that rate. So the job time for completing 12 of these units is 3 hours. If you divide $195.12 by 3, you get $65.04 an hour, which is not a bad paycheck. So with the Avance 1501C and doing this 12-piece order of this specific jacket and this specific logo, you are going to be grossing about $65.04 per hour, which is a great number to base a small business on. Next, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the difference when you move up to a multi-head. The power of a multi-head is that the time per garment that it takes you to complete embroidering this design on the jacket, for example, stays the same, but you're working with more than one head at a time. So a 1504 Avance, a 4-head machine, will do 4 jackets in the same period of time, and a 1506C will do 6 jackets in the same period of time. So here's what that looks like as far as profitability goes. The 1501C, that's the single head embroidery machine that we're demonstrating today, you can see you made $65.04 an hour on this 12-unit job. Now with the 1504, you can literally make 4 times as much at $260.16 an hour. And with the 1506C, which is our 6-head machine, once again, you can make 6 times as much in the same period of time at $390.24 per hour. So the single head 1501C, it's a great machine, and you're going to make $65 an hour on this specific order. And then if you went up to a 1504 and 1506C, you can see how your profitability goes up exponentially.
All right, we are just about done, and you're seeing, actually we are done.
We are done.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this off.
All right.
And unhoop it.
Look.
I mean, I think that looks great. That is definitely, $35 worth of jacket.
Definitely.
So that's our great example. What I'm going to try to do is put up some numbers. If you haven't seen them yet on screen, you'll get some numbers on how long this took, the retail, the profit that we saw. We'll do all that for you. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one.